Bian pushed his frog mirror. And we have to tell them that anyone who dares to escape will be hunted down endlessly by the Jiangnan region. Meng Siyu nodded. Yes. Of course she knew that every bit of combat power was extremely important now. Zhang Yi, Xing Tian, Wei Dinghai, and Snow Worship Zhao must be tied to their chariots. Xiao Honglian took a few deep breaths and tried to keep her emotions calm. Now, except for trusting Bian Junwu, she had no other choice. She called Zhuge Qingting. Give him all our information! Zhuge Qingting's face was also a little ugly. He glanced at Bian Junwu, nodded, and went to give all the information in the shelter to Bian Junwu without saying anything. Let's talk about the outside world. Zhang Yi and other people from several major forces are rushing to Yangsheng base. However, they are also very careful along the way, fearing that they will encounter a tide of corpses. Everyone has complicated thoughts in their hearts, and the most basic principle is that no one wants to die. As for Zhang Yixian, his emotions are even more complicated. Obviously, the tide of corpses is a monster created by them. However, now that the situation has developed to this point, it is a bit difficult to reverse the situation, and they cannot perfectly solve this crisis. It is very troublesome to get in touch with the Corpse King through the Bloodvine and then control the entire group of corpses. It is difficult to convey too complicated information. Otherwise, it is difficult to understand with the wisdom of the Corpse King. And letting the tide of corpses retreat like this will obviously easily arouse the suspicion of other forces. Just when Zhang Yixian was hesitating, he received a message from Meng Siyu. After reading it, his cheeks couldn't help twitching a few times. Love death. Here it comes. The thing he fears the most is here. The Jiangnan region, which has an absolute advantage in military force, can indeed easily wipe out all of them. Damn it! Zhang Yixian was always calm, but at this moment he couldn't help but hit the car hard. This must not happen. In 24 hours, what can I do to keep the members of the investigation team alive and not arouse their suspicion? Zhang Yixian's eyes flashed with a sharp light as if he wanted to kill someone. At this moment, he was also in a dilemma. In the direction of Lujiang district, Zhang Yi and others came on a snowmobile. He also received the news from Meng Siyu. Zhang Yi's eyes were a little surprised at first, but soon he laughed. That's right. Instead of being afraid of the upcoming god of death of love, he smiled. Because all this, although it was different from what he expected, was generally not much different. On the contrary, the existence of the god of death of love accelerated the progress of things. Compared to us, the people of the snow worship cult should have a bigger headache, right? They must have a way to influence the zombie tide, so they dare not let the investigation team die here. Then they must abandon these hundreds of thousands of zombies. This should be their greatest asset at the moment. Once this wave of zombies is also killed, at least in a short period of time, they will not be able to cultivate a large number of powerful zombies. Then, we will have a chance to kill them. But... Zhang Yi raised his head and looked at the sky. Indistinctly, he seemed to see a death god holding a sickle falling from the sky and destroying everything. It's still a bit scary after all. The combat uniform does have some anti-radiation functions, and it is not a problem to resist low radiation intensity for a short period of time. He also has to make the worst plan. The mutant space is not suitable for living things to survive inside, but it is still no problem to hide for a short time. The time is about 1 minute, which Zhang Yi has tested personally. If he really senses that thing falling from the sky, Zhang Yi can take people to hide inside temporarily, escape the initial impact. Although it is not known whether it will work, it is at least a method that can be tried. The only prerequisite is that they cannot be in the central area of the descent. Zhang Yi took out a satellite phone and reminded Zhou Qi and others who were still in the shelter. Escape to the basement immediately, the 3rd floor underground. Tianhai City may be hit. He also told the news to everyone in the car. After everyone heard it, their expressions became very nervous. Do we have 24 hours left to deal with this? Uncle Yu sighed solemnly. Hundreds of thousands of zombies, how easy is that? Even if it is 300,000 pigs, we can't catch them all in 24 hours. Knowing that Tianhai City would suffer a devastating blow in less than 24 hours, Almost everyone was very nervous. Liang Yue frowned and tightly grasped the long knife in her hand. She said nothing, thinking about how things could turn around. Fatty Shoe's face turned pale and he muttered, "It's over. It's over. This time it's really dead. Boss, how about we run away? 24 hours is enough for us to run out of Tianhai City." Zhang Yi looked at the information on the satellite phone and said lightly, "Oh, by the way, there is one more thing. They said that if we dare to run, we will be hunted down by the Jiangnan district in all directions without dead ends." "Don't you think that the zombie tide is more terrible than the Jiangnan district?" Fatty Shoe's face was ashen. Obviously, either of these two things can make him die without a burial place. Fighting with zombies, there is still a 50% chance of survival. Being targeted by the Jiangnan district, there is no chance of survival. After all, as long as the Jiangnan district wants to do it, they can always determine their location through the powerful satellite monitoring system and network system. Isn't this embarrassing? Fatty Shoe looked bitter. Zhang Yi leaned back in his chair, lowered his eyelids, and said leisurely, "Don't worry, there is a solution to this zombie crisis. As long as we know that the snow worship cult is behind the zombies, then things will become much simpler. They didn't expect me to expose the location where they hid the corpses, and they must be in a mess now. But the next trouble will not be ours, but theirs." Zhang Yi was not panicked at all. He knew that there must be a way to solve this zombie crisis. It depends on how the snow worship cult handles it. After all, they don't want to be destroyed by the god of death of love before they are about to fulfill their ambitions. A dark light flashed in Zhang Yi's eyes. "Everything is developing as planned, and it has not exceeded my guess. Then it depends on whether the next event can achieve the effect I want." Yangsheng Base is naturally not just a bunker. As a fortress prepared for wartime, it also has a powerful self-defense system, and it will not be as easily destroyed as the snow worship cult. Bian Junwu, Xiao Honglian, and others gathered in the combat command room and began to formulate a plan to break out. Although it is extremely difficult to annihilate the zombie army of more than 300,000, there is still a chance, because those who survived are all top elites. Soon, a temporary plan was formulated. If you want to eliminate the zombies, the most important thing is to destroy their command center. That is, the Zombie King. But this time we disturbed the zombies and they took the initiative to attack. So the Zombie King must be behind the zombies. We must break out, confirm the location of the Zombie King, and kill him. The zombies are not so scary after losing their command. In front of Bian Junwu was a huge electronic information map. The center was the Yangsheng shelter. There are powerful armed forces here, such as automatic machine guns, etc. It is not a problem to use them to clean up the zombies and eliminate tens of thousands of them. "How to break out?" Xiao Honglian asked. "There are too many zombies. We can't do it with the firepower we have." Among the zombies, there are a large number of bronze-armored zombies with combat power comparable to that of mutants. Even if Bian Junwu and his people can deal with 5 bronze-armored corpses by themselves, there are hundreds of bronze-armored corpses and bronze-armored flying corpses outside. "We have to rely on that guy with teleportation ability." Bian Junwu pushed his frog-eye glasses, and the shadow of Zhang Yi emerged in his mind. Wu Di said with an angry face, "I didn't expect that at this critical moment we would have to rely on him to save us."